Sorry if this is really loud.
Bedeck.
Decorate. Never heard the word in my life. Alright. We did it. We found the 99. We're here with Soul of Windgrace, which somehow I've never played before. 4 mana 5/4. It has been nerfed. It's got the little A symbol on the top left. I could not tell you what is different. Oh, maybe it got buffed. I don't actually know. Something's different about the real one. That's what that A is on the top left. Whenever it enters or attacks, you put a land from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. So a bunch of fetch lands, ideally. I don't really like the basic fetch lands like these, but if they enter tapped, they just work with Soul of Windgrace. So I guess I'll just make them work. Land destruction. Right? Oh, right. I have to finish actually reading this. Pay green, discard a card, you gain 3 life. You're never doing this. I don't know why you would ever do that. Even against aggro, you're probably still interested in drawing cards. So red, discard a land, draw a card. Black, it becomes indestructible and taps itself. So you can block and then use it, swing and then use it, all that jazz. But it's awkward if you get hit with a removal spell, I guess, and you decided that it was important that was indestructible. Flare is in here because it's totally fine to sacrifice your commander to blow up your opponent's lands, right, with Seismic Shift. This is a land destruction strategy. I've never really played one in Magic Arena at all, ever. But this only is free with this, ideally, and you don't really care if you lose your commander when you blow up 2 of your opponent's lands. You just don't care that you lost this. You can probably recast it. You are green. It's not really a big deal to me. The Godo thing is 50% emotional investment and 50% this is an 11 mana inevitability for any red deck. You could just simply play Tooth and Nail, and that's at 9 mana instead of 11 mana, and have Gristlebrand Shieldred or whatever, but I went this route. This is better than Gristlebrand with Creation. You lose less life, and you ideally would immediately then, having put Godo in play, just instantly have the mana to do it. So that's why this is here. It's not ideal with Dark Ritual, though, right? Because you do it turn 1, you're not really going to do this immediately after that. But you still can sometimes with all the mana that green provides you. So yeah, there's a land destruction package. The entire 6 mana slot, or 6 and up, is just funny. Some of the, like, this taxes your opponent after you've blown up too many lands. They can't cast anything. This is a 6 mana land destruction spell. It has more text on it. I do not care about the rest of the text box. This sometimes actually just wins the game. This card is funny. It's an instant speed land destruction spell while also being a removal spell for most of what you expect. It's good against Tamiyo, Vivi sometimes, not consistently. Tifa, it actually kills things. -3 is good enough. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't play this, but it has the added benefit of blowing up lands. This is Star of Extinction. Need it have an introduction? I don't know. It's funny, it's been like 5 years since I played it. These 2 cards are wild, but that's just where we are. We're trying to play some crazy stuff that blows up lands. We have this, and I have crafted Strip Mine today. Where are you? Where are you, Strip Mine? Don't tell me I didn't actually put you in here. That'd be really funny. Wait, hold on. What's happening? Ah. Oh, because the title is hidden, because it's not on the top of the card. Strip Mine. This is a huge addition to the format, especially if you like blowing up your opponent's lands. You can reanimate it with Soul of Windgrace. Another ideal card, probably the most ideal card that would go into this deck, is the first OG, the OG Gitrog monster. I don't own it, so, we're just biting the bullet. But this is huge for this deck, or big enough that I would probably run it, but I don't have it, so that's that. Alright, let's blow up lands and make people emote spam me. This is just solid in general, so that's fine. We have a 1 into 3. We're not in the play though, so it's not an auto win, but opponent has a phenomenal turn 1. Phenomenal turn 1. See if we can't do something about it. They can play a 4-minute card on turn 2. It's just really bad. Alright, that's fine. Survivable. Gonna hold the fetch land for Provisioner. They can play a 5-minute card right now on turn 3. Okay, I can't really play Provisioner anymore. I mean, I don't know what you want from me. What am I supposed to do? Alright, I don't have a 1 in... Oh, I actually do. I have the Dream 1 into 3. This is about 90% of the reason you play Ponza. We have this scenario. I'm not going to sacrifice. I could have sacked, though. I could have just sacked it. Pretty easily, honestly. Alright, yep, there it is. There's your expected outcome. We're against something weird, so I'll keep a weird hand. But it is still green. Might be wrong. I'm willing to do it, though. Oh, okay. Yuki. It's kind of weird. Alright, we have a game plan. It involves this. This makes my turn 2 kind of lackluster, but that's okay. Turn 2 Winter Moon, kind of sus, but if they do not have basics, this is good. I mean, this is the kind of deck we are. We're not dancing around anything. Forest. Tail's End. Nope. Flare. Swamp. Forest. Okay. It's up to them to interact with Winter Moon here. Looks like they will. It's an awkward time to do it, though. Very strange time to do it. Oh. Okay, I was not in any way, shape, or form expecting that. Double non-basic into the face of Winter Moon. You play Glarb, I blow up a land. Okay, and now I lose one of my land destruction spells, but I do not lose both. Now you take the 4-mana one. Oh, you could just take whichever. It actually doesn't matter, yeah. It actually just doesn't matter which one you take. Let's blow up... yeah, we'll blow up the basic. Why wouldn't I not blow up the basic? It's also the only blue source. I almost didn't do it. Oof. Means this is weird. It's fine for that to be weird, though. I'm gonna hide the Ancient Tomb, obviously. Oh, my opponent said hello just as I did. Look at that. Look at that. Fetch lands. What? Oh, Brainstorm. Brainstorm Crab? Okay, well, this is obviously insane. I do not care at all about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand is really ugly for the given situation. I'm going to shock myself, and then I'm going to swing and still proceed to not... Ooh, what if I... Okay, alright. This is good. Don't have it. Okay, good, they didn't have it. That doesn't do anything for our deck specifically, unfortunately. Pass. Yeah, it just doesn't do anything. I can't crack this. I mean, I could still just take it. Maybe I should have just taken it. No, that's just weird, though. That's definitely weird. I don't think I would ever do that. I don't really care about getting milled when I'm solo Windgrace. This might actually legitimately benefit me. Okay, not so much. Okay. That here... I mean, Ancient Tomb is so insane that I can sort of do whatever I want. Ancient Tomb has flung me into the stratosphere of this game. I'm just going to play the door to nothingness. I win the game. This is just too good. I don't think they can do anything. Yes, it's Ancient Tomb. That's just Ancient Tomb. But it's keepable, so... We're winning. We have a life advantage. That's how that works, right? Alright, another game where the land destruction looks hot, steaming garbage, but it's castable. I can play the hand. I can play the hand. Hand can be played. Forest. Let's blow up the den. Oh. My bad. I didn't know that was going to happen. A red deck, so... I'm going to try this. Oh, apparently it's red-black. Okay. It's really dumb that it doesn't tell you your opponent's specialty here. It just says red. That's kind of, like, really stupid. It should not do that. It tells you in the loading zone, but that's kind of a joke place for it to tell you. I got nothing else to do but this. I'll play it. I don't have a land anyways. Okay. Get rid of one of these. What does this do? Okay, get rid of this one. Sure. Dark Ritual has value to me still. If I don't draw a land, I'm probably screwed. I drew one of the best things in my deck. Can I defend against this Dark Ritual? I'm gonna get a basic swamp. Treasure. So we have 6 mana, 7 mana. I should play both these. Yeah, for sure. Wait. I can actually play this and this. I have 8 mana. Yeah, okay. Never mind. This is just better. Yeah, this is we're here to do land destruction things, so I'm going to do that. Oh, hey, Liliana Vale. Archfiend of Sorrows is insane. There's Ragavan. A boatload of lands. Yeah, makes sense. Necrogoyf. Okay. Interesting deck list. No attack. Haven't seen anything like this before. Did we draw a land? Opponent does draw land. Only makes sense. I feel like that worked out beautifully. So 3 damage to each creature. Win game. You ever just not crack your fetch land first, chat? You ever just not crack your Windgrace land first? Like a complete clown? You ever just do that? Because I sure did. Yeah, that was egregiously bad. Fortunately, it's not the worst thing I could have done, but it was definitely very bad. It was a colossal mistake, one would argue. I don't know if you swing. You probably swing, right? Yeah, okay. Dust Bowl. Pitch to deal nothing. Alright. Let's get rid of you. Get rid of you. Alright, yeah. This is a deck. This is a deck with cards in my hand. This is a deck that puts 7 cards in your hand and it works. So here, red green or black green. Let's go with black green. Let's play you. Yep. No Chrome Mox. Blood Moon can just win against this deck. It's actually somewhat likely to. Alright, let's get rid of this. Let's get a swamp or a forest. Let's get a forest. Oh wait, I can't. Not with this fetch land. So swamp. Let's play you. Get rid of the 6-minute card. That probably won't come up. And Blood Moon my opponent. This has a moderately high chance of winning immediately. So we'll see. Oh, come on. I think I can still just blow up lands, though. Although reanimating a land is valuable. Oh, I can't because I lose it here. Destroy an artifact? Oh! Alright, found the line. Land destruction. Found the line. Oh, oh wait, that's fine. Alright, basic forest. Yep, always. Always doing this. Basic forest. And pass, yep. I'm not worried about a plains. I'm not worried about a plains. I'm not worried about a plains. Otherwise I would have stone rained. Not worried about it. It's free to deal with it now. We can probably play the 3-mana card. Acidic Slime has value in different circumstances, but I will do this here. This is the second time my opponent has struggled to accept it. Alright, I figured it out. Swing. Oh, this is peak gaming. Peak gaming. Thanks to the planes that I don't need. Swing. This is great. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, I love this. Ah, oh yes. You can go to the graveyard. You can go to the bottom. They'll let me mill. Free card for this. Forest and nothing to do with it. Oh, opponent. What happened? Yeah, we can... Oh, I misclicked. I misclicked. I did actually want that. I did actually want that. I also could have reanimated the forest, but who cares? I'm winning. Oh, they haven't conceded. Go away, go away. Go away, go away. Opponent mills 2 basics. Nice, we got another forest. Oh, nice mountain. Let's see. Let's see what the hand is, shall we? Chat, let's find out what my opponent had this whole time that they couldn't cast. Oh! Look at all those 7-mana I win the game cards. Look at all of those. Look at them go. There is no single top deck that wins the game here, so I'll keep this on top. I assume they're going to mill and lose. Yep, that's what they're just going to do. Oh, yes. Again with the Dark Ritual going away. That was actually really significant. Okay. Swamp? Yeah, swamp. Okay. Let's actually just play this. More mana, more betterer, right? More mana, more betterer. Yeah, we can steal our opponent's Arena of Glory. That's funny. Why not? It has some use in my deck, I suppose. But yeah, always just take the mana line here. Always take the mana. Don't care. It's done way more than enough. I'm not going to Lightning Bolt face. Certainly could, though. Alright, let's get rid of the land. Let's get a basic forest, you know. Assemble the spaghetti. Oh, wait, we swing first, yeah. Get rid of another land first. Although, there was a chance I Arena of Glory something. Alright, yeah, no. I'm literally this entire game, actually even turn 0 because of Gemstone. I played 2 lands a turn the entire game. Stomping ground? Yep. Mox? 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 That's not a Mox. Pwned it. Yeah, we're gonna Farseek this. Urborg this. Choice of Fortunes in a phase. Alright, well, we take the protection spell, because then Vivi looks really bad. I don't even know if they can cast it. Yeah, it might have to just Banefire the Llanowar Elves, which feels awful. Okay, they don't do that. They go... Oh, wait, you can still do that. Sure, okay, yeah, sure. Gets rid of Niv Mizzet. Alright, I feel like all of that just worked out in my favor. We're going to play this as much as I really wish I didn't have to. Red, green, black, so anything but black. We can safely get a red or a green. We'll just get a green. Okay, this last card must be super relevant, one would argue. course it actually is. Why wouldn't it be? Okay, they didn't run into the next busted thing. So, Commander, lose game? That doesn't seem like a good idea. Unfortunately, taking a turn off to kill my opponent leads me to the same result. So I will do this because it's the same result. And I might as well skip that and not pretend like that's super crucial here. I'm just going to do it like that. Of course, it was a land. Well, I got to attack. Get you. Now we have removal that could matter. I will play this. Yeah, we will play that. And I will also pass. They can bounce a wizard to their hand, which could be a problem. We'll see. Killing this on their turn is just weird, but alright. Now we'll make a move. They only have one card left. Picking up Vivi is like... Sure. I don't believe it's recastable. Oh, it is recastable with the treasure token, so alright. You'd have to actually go about doing that, though. Probably shouldn't. Opponent agrees. Alright, black market's in play. Let's put you tapped. Draw. I'll make a single 3-2 and LARP as if it has any significant value. Let's blow up the bounce wizard land. Yeah, that makes sense to me. It is actually annoying. Can rampant growth for anything. Swing. Can steal the land. Revolt with Fatal Push might be fine. Although we have Revolt with the treasure token. I don't know, I'll just take my own land. I can't make another 3-2 anyways. Okay, I did not expect that. What's your final mana do? I mean, you have to have something. Okay, they don't have anything. Okay, might be winning. Might actually be winning. Sure. Could have played the land first. Chose not to. Hopefully it was a major mistake, but who knows. They take 8. Oh shoot, I didn't upkeep stop. Tragic. Okay. There is a land. I can just crack this still. I will. Tapped. Swing. I'm at 7. Let's just take my opponent's mountain. Just play it somewhat safe here. Okay, so I don't know what this last mana does, but I'm going to blow up the discounter so I don't lose to whatever that could potentially do. And I'm not going to play the arena. Yeah, this is just more mana than any one single land. Okay. And the best thing here, I think, is to leave up -3 for the off chance that it kills Vivi, which is not 100% guaranteed. In fact, it's probably pretty low. But my opponent has to do something here. Maybe I didn't even need to make a treasure token. I'm so used to making them that I just assume it's worth it. Alright, this card needs to be something. Alright, get wrecked. It wasn't. Get totally wrecked. We did it. We beat Vivi. Still on the draw, too. We've seen the best thing out of, like, a lot of people, and we just haven't had it ourselves, but... I mean, these 3 cards are as close to winning for free as it gets. Of course, our opponent is still an on-the-play win the game ignores you thing, but... who cares, right? We have the something that's just categorically better than this. Let's get black and red. Okay. If this was Stone Rain, we would have had the Godsend. Okay, they Sylvaned Scryinged Ancient Tomb. Interesting. I'm going to blow this land up. I know it's not blowing up Ancient Tomb, but it's still the right thing to do, I think. Though casting my commander has value as well. I would not say that's incorrect. Dust Bowl is non-basic, right? Yeah. Okay, they did play a non-basic. So I'm just going to go for my commander, though. The value is real. Let's take as many cards out of my opponent's graveyard that are lands as possible with this. Alright, land. We are very far ahead. This is why I wanted to steal my opponent's lands. I can steal that if they crack now. I can't steal the other one if they crack. Like, I can't steal Riveteers permanently. I'm still just winning significantly here. Yeah, just winning significantly. Yeah. Probably could have led my turn on that, but... There's been like 4 auto concedes too, which is also really funny. I think we can keep this because we're on the play with Ancient Tomb. I'd have to be on the play and have Ancient Tomb to keep this. And we have both. I would not keep it if I was on the draw. I would not keep it without Ancient Tomb. That was a devastating draw. I should have assessed this as a potential top deck. I should have assessed that. That was a very bad idea. Yeah. Okay. My bad. I should have thought more about it. That was a massive mistake. Fortunately, we're not super punished. My opponent is also literally colorless. My opponent is straight up colorless in a blue-white deck right now. I've never seen that before. You have to kill Pock if you have swords. This does not stop Ancient Tomb, but my opponent needs colors, so it does make sense. Let's get Forest. Wait, do I have a Forest in play? I do. Alright, Swamp. They would not do this if they had all their colors, but they obviously need blue and stuff. So. I mean, they let me go to the land. Yeah, there's nothing you can do now. play this and Delighted Halfling. Do not care. That is completely fine. Let's play this. Swing. I'm not going to sack the Halfling. I'm not going to sack the Halfling. I could. I'm not going to. They are a blue deck. Darksteel Citadel. Wow. Okay. Name artifact? Okay, good sign. I'd rather than name artifact than really any other permanent type. So let's play this. Unfortunately, I don't quite have... Oh, hey, double Ancient Tomb is hilarious with Pock. I didn't think of that. I mean, I don't really, still got funny. Alright, let's swing with you. This isn't a force block, which is super tragic. There's nothing I can do about that. Green doesn't do it. That doesn't do it. Okay. Kind of a lackluster turn cycle. Alright, yeah, it's still just too much, I think. It's probably still too much. I'm done. Okay, so land destruction is good if you do it really quickly, just like an aggro deck, right? I would probably argue you should just play an aggro deck if you want the game to end that quickly, or some kind of crazy combo deck like Rowan. I think Rowan is very scary. The more you play Rowan, the more your opponents are going to be aware that Rowan is a must-answer threat, because if you untap with Rowan, you have a substantially high chance of immediately winning the game. But with something like this, you need your land destruction. There's not a lot of good land destruction spells. I do kind of like the 5-mana ones. I was adamant that I was going to keep as many of the goofy ones at 6 and up as possible, but half of them were truly awful, and I had my fun with them, so I moved on. But like Godo, while it is an 11-mana inevitable win condition, with something like this, you might really have to go into Tooth and Nail as a 9-mana inevitable win condition, or something like that. Avacyn's what's it called? Avacyn, Creation of Avacyn kind of likes Godo more than it does Gristlebrand, but it's still just okay to kind of get Gristlebrand. There was one game that we played that I lost that I think... Oh, yeah, we actually did win 15 games, right? We still got there. But we did play very quick games, right? I'm either winning really quickly with the land destruction or the green cards outpacing anything my opponent can do, or I'm just losing and going to the next game. I don't exactly have the top end that basically any green commander could run that gives you some kind of inevitability. This deck would probably benefit with inevitability in mind, so Eldrazi, something that's big and scary that can just win the game when you get to a bunch of mana, critical mass. You can get to critical mass of mana with this, right, or lands, whatever you want to consider it. Critical mass of lands with this. There were enough fetch lands. I never really felt bad about the tap lands. I thought I would, but I just didn't. Like the true tap lands, like Cabaretti, Spaghetti, and the other ones like that. But they were fine here. You are always going to try to do the best thing possible. So you're always going to want to lean into the best thing possible, which is a 1-mana green spell. The more of these that are printed, the less you have to play anything that costs 2 mana in any green deck. You just hop right into your 3-drops. I never got a Ooh. I just bit my tongue. Jeez. I never got a Flare of Duplication situation, but that was on the table a couple games. But my opponent had already decided that the game was over from the Stone Rain or the first seismic shift that was fast enough. You have to keep in mind, playing 4 mana land destruction spells means you're not blowing up your opponent's land on turn 2 with a 1 mana ramp spell unless you also have Chrome Mox, Dark Ritual. I think that might actually be it. Dark Ritual, Chrome Mox might actually be it. I think it is, yeah. Like, if you're not racing towards these really quick, you cannot play this on turn 4. If you're on the draw turn 4, this is really bad. If you're on the play turn 4, it's less bad, but it's still really bad. But it is less bad if you're on the play. If you're on the play with a mana dork, right, the ideal scenario, it's as good as it's going to get, kinda, and there is where it's actually solid. So these cards are super all in on you must draw them in an ideal situation, otherwise it doesn't look good. This is completely different from Stone Rain, right? Stone Rain is really the only one, and by extension sometimes Blood Moon, that is insane, right? The more of this we get, the better the strategy. You can't really play the ones that make your opponent search for a basic, in my opinion, because there's, like, every single deck in the game, even Golos, First Sliver, Infinite Guideline Station, they're going to have basics, mono-colored commanders, even Ujin is going to have wastes. You're not getting anywhere blowing up your opponent's non-basic for a basic, or blowing up their basic for a different basic. They could actually just get the same one. Doesn't matter. You can blow up your own lands. You can target your indestructible bridge, the artifact lands. Those enter tapped, but you can do that. That is kind of the opposite direction that Soul of Windgrace wants to go, because putting a land in your own graveyard with something like this is viable, so you can actually blow up your own land just for Soul of Windgrace. But to me, this doesn't make any sense. Why is this just not Arcane Signet, Rampant Growth, all that jazz? So I don't really like those, and I didn't play them. I don't think they would have changed any outcome of any game I won or lost. So that's just the problem with land destruction in general. You either win basically immediately with them and just stop your opponent from doing anything, right? That's one scenario. Another scenario is your opponent's just not willing to play it out. That is actually significant here. There are plenty of people who see Windgrace, assume your land destruction, and just concede instantly. You could take those if you want. Or they play it out for the first 3 turns, everything is fine, you blow up a land, your opponent's over it, even though the game is still just fine, right? You didn't blow it up in time, but your opponent just didn't want to play against the next land destruction spell that you might have. So that's not a good sign, right? That's not a good sign. Stuff like this that punish your opponent or double down on your opponent getting destroyed with lands, it's kind of weird, because you can blow up a bunch of lands and then this is like really bad for your opponent to see, or you can blow up all your opponent's lands and it doesn't matter because they're over it, and that happens all the time. So a card like this is a little awkward. If you've blown up enough lands for this card to be rather significant, your opponent is probably already screwed, and I don't really care about making them get pushed even further into being screwed, right? We get the snowball win more issue with a card like this. It does have some rather major tempo benefit. It's also quite significant against, say, Ujin, assuming Ujin didn't enter the battlefield already. This might actually be kind of cool. It does tax other things post Ujin cast, but not really. Ujin does have a 0 that just pays for this and then some. So, But it can sometimes do something. Of the 25,000 games I just played, it didn't do anything. If that matters to you. I did take out the Mythic Rare 6 mana red enchantment and kept this one. There was 1 or 2 games, I think it was 1 game, where this kind of blew up some stuff. But has kind of the same issue. You're playing it at a point in the game where it's probably already decided if the land destruction mattered. If this is your first land destruction spell, it's kind of bad, right? Outside of a Boreal Grazer into Flare of Cultivation with maybe also Chrome Box, Dark Ritual, like you can maybe hyper blitz this out turn 3 or something. Ancient Tomb, Gemstone Caverns, right? The fast mana leads to game-winning lines, so you could get away with it in that way, but I just never got away with this card. I did blow up 3 lands with it, but the game in which I played it, I still lost because it was doing its thing too late. Just too late. We had, I think, our first serious example of Ancient Tomb being completely disgusting from someone that wasn't me. It was a Clive player who was on the play with Ancient Tomb. They tapped it for Ruby Medallion, untapped, and I don't think anything beyond that point mattered, but I was so far behind. No, they actually did have something. I made them have it. I don't remember what it was, but Ancient Tomb into Ruby Medallion mono red deck. Instant loss. It's not even close. I needed like a Braid or the Seiju probably wouldn't have got me there. Yeah, there wasn't much that was going to stop that. Land destruction was certainly not the answer to that scenario. So fast mana dorks from your opponent, Dark Ritual, sometimes Mana Drain, mono-colored decks in general. There's a lot of things that play against your land destruction. So your land destruction has to show up at a crucial moment, which is early, and you also have to play it into things that that haven't just solved the land destruction issue outright. If you don't kill your opponent's Birds of Paradise, then your Stone Rain looks really suspect. Obviously, if they play Utopia Sprawl, then your Stone Rain instantly wins the game. But that's not always the case. Most of the time, it's not. Winter Moon wasn't a big deal. I tried to play as many basics as I could that would maybe circumvent Winter Moon, Blood Moon, but you could probably play less basics. I never really felt like the basic amount was a problem, though. But if that was something that maybe you just like, if I'm going to play these, I want to have as many basics as possible, sure. But you don't have to play these in games where they're bad. Right, so you just hold them in your hand, mulligan if it's one of the cards and you don't like the hand outside of them, you just mulligan it. But you don't have to play these. They're just cards that you run because in a land destruction strategy without 5 Stone Rains, it would make sense to run these cards because they have the opportunity and potential to blow up effectively 6, 5, 7, 8 all lands, right? Blood Moon did win a game by effectively blowing up against a first sliver opponent. It was either 7 lands or 8. It might have been 8 lands. Blood Moon was basically 3 mana blow up 8 lands in the first sliver matchup. This was pitted against things that I would not really expect it to be. I saw Ketramos, which I don't assume I can stand a chance against. I had maybe a good opener, but even still I just lost. The first sliver even feels like a matchup that doesn't really feel great unless you're hyper specific on your hyper focused on your Stone Rain strategy. I don't feel like the first sliver is a good matchup at all. It feels like my opponent's kind of just playing a completely different format than me. So the matchup system doesn't pitch you against things that are favorable. Now, to be fair, I didn't see Scythus Keenan But I did see like Yuna, which is literally Scythe players playing Yuna just to have weaker opponents. So I did see Yuna. Very bad matchup. Really bad matchup. Ujin is okay, but like I don't think I actually saw an Ujin player. I don't think we did. No, I don't think we did. I never did the funny blow up my opponent's basic land and then get rid of all of their basics of that type with Deadly Cover-Up, because for some odd reason, this card, which might actually just be a mistake, like design and text-wise, it specifically says any card. So you can exile anything. Basic Forest. Right? I don't know why it does that, but it does. So they have really gone out of their way to make sure lands and or exile stuff doesn't remove basic lands, but this does. It's a 5-mana card, but still, if you're against Azusa and you exile Basic Forest, you immediately win. It never happened to me. It won't happen to you. It'll happen to you every 40 to 50 games maybe, but it didn't happen here. It's still a sweeper. It's okay. You get to see your opponent's hand. That's okay. It has the upward potential of winning immediately. Is just the reason I was playing it. But it never came to fruition. So take that for what you will. You are still Jund. So if this commander is good, it wouldn't surprise me. It probably involves not running land destruction spells. When I get destroyed by land destruction, it's usually because I wasn't doing anything that mattered at all, right? And that's a bit vague, but there's a lot of scenarios where you feel like you're doing what you want to be doing, and maybe you are, but it doesn't like matter if you're attacked at an angle that you have no answer to or weren't expecting or something like that. So if you're playing whatever you're doing and you're like, oh, I'm still doing the thing I want, but my opponent ran Stone Rain, they had Stone Rain, and I just lost. It doesn't really matter if you are doing the thing you think you should be doing. Again, I can't find the words for it. It's hard to explain it, but that's one of the reasons land destruction can be backbreaking in certain scenarios. But there are not enough land destruction spells that I like, that I think are worth running, or even just functional in Historic Brawl, that you can get away with land destruction as a strategy. I've still seen it in mono red. Most of it obviously is red. I would still only play land destruction with green, so something red-green like Tanic or whatever, the Windgrace, obviously. I don't really like the mono-red land destruction. There is a Chandra strategy that plays it, which, again, your land destruction spells show up so late that it's kind of weird to play them here. Yeah, you can play this with a bunch of mana rocks and then copy your land destruction spells, but by the time you do this, the decks that are playing 50% of the staples in their given color are probably going to stomp you. So I don't really have faith in this. Now, to be fair, I've never played it. Obviously, I don't own it. It's a mythic. I don't have any mythics, which is why I was also not playing Gitrog Monster. So yeah, I really think you want the green side of things to get away with the 4-mana land destruction spam, and that felt like it was at its best. Was this commander the one that was doing it the best? I don't know. People really like the new one, which again I don't own. Might play it at some point. Like, this thing is good with Strip Mine, it's good with that kind of thing, I guess. It's not amazing, but sure, you can kind of do the Jund land destruction thing with this, and maybe this too, in some weird fashion. It doesn't really feel like it, but maybe, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Obviously, again, I don't own them, so take that for what you will. But yeah, I think if you're gonna do this, because it doesn't win the game on its own, you should probably play some kind of win condition. That's why I did have Godo in here. I ended up taking out, but like Tooth and Nail, Gristlebrand, Shieldred, Craterhoof Behemoth, some other kind of thing. Just something to win the game when your land destruction inevitably fails. But again, if you have it fast and right when you need it, it will win immediately. So it falls into that sort of aggro thing where, you have the aggro package, your opponent mulliganed in a way where they're not ready for it, or they weren't expecting it, or they just don't have answers. And the aggro thing just kills your opponent really quickly, and you win. It's kind of like that, with the added benefit that you're not playing aggro, so you don't have to do exactly 25 damage. You can play Llanowar Elves into anything egregious. But, yeah. The Stone Rain strategy, Ponza, whatever, just feels like an exercise in thought. It is a thought experiment, that you can sort of do anything so long as you're playing fast mana, right? Your Llanowar Elves lets you sort of get away with anything. And that includes Stone Rain or Tectonic Rift. So there's plenty of things that fast green mana, Chrome Mox, and Dark Ritual too, they just let you do anything and you're winning. That's just how insane green ramp is, right? In a singleton 100 card format specifically. That's just how egregious Utopia Sprawl is, that you can then play something as bad as Demolish. Because this is that good. And you see this in 5-color strategies, where the green is the best thing to do. First Sliver, Golos, Infinite Guideline Station, anything you can think of. Like, this is still the best card in your deck. Most people who don't like seeing me play all the 1-mana green things just, like, I'm sorry, but if you aim to do those things, these are the cards you need to play. This is not a format where you get to take your time doing something goofy starting turn 3. This is not the format for it, right? It's the same with Legacy. I play Legacy. People give me Legacy deck list ideas. I stream the Legacy deck. It doesn't have any 1-mana cards in it. It looks really weird, right? It doesn't race to a 3-drop. It's just like goofy Hate Bear thing, or anyone who doesn't know Legacy won't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean. So, like, you have to play the fundamentals. They're staples for a reason. I've been trying to convince people that Molt Tender is a green staple, but I won't see people play against me with Molt Tender. This is a staple in the format. It just is. And you have to play stuff like this if you aim to have any success with any goofy pseudo jank. This isn't quite jank, but goofy situation or strategy. So that's it. Hopefully that was coherent, but that's all. Those are the words I have. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. All right, get out of here.